Today, ladies and gentlemen, I would just like to ask the next generation console owners a question to start off this review. What was the first moment in the next generation game that made you actually feel that you're in the next generation? Was it chainsawing a locust in Gears of War? Was it playing your first ever game of Wii bowling on the Nintendo Wii? Well, this moment right here made me feel that I was in the next generation of video gaming. Weird, huh? This game essentially opened up its arms with a big grin on its face and said, "Welcome, dude, to the next generation." Now, as you can probably tell just by looking at the footage and from the generic little intro that I made during the beginning of this review, the concept of this game is incredibly simple. Shoot the aliens. Couldn't be more simpler. Well, most modern day games try to make things as complicated as possible to make it, quote, deep, unquote. Yes, I did do the imaginary bunny ears with my fingers there. The developers of this game, Sandlot, basically they thought, we're going to keep things simple. And it's worked, because they deliver what most people actually want in a shoot 'em up. A no holds barred, freeform, shoot the crap out of everything fest. It's not like those pretentious squad based shoot 'em ups or those quite linear first person shooters. This game is completely freeform and just allows the player to do whatever it wants, with no annoying hindrances like thermal energy counter or virus gauge. Essentially, it's you versus the machine in an epic slug fest. Now, I don't mean epic, this game is truly epic. During either one of the 50 missions that are in this game, you are required to take on a wide variety of aliens, varied from giant bugs to giant walking robots, as you can see here, to flying saucers, to even giant B-movie monsters. The glass scale of this game is just so astounding and at the same time so surprising that I don't actually want to spoil it for you. In fact, reviewing this game in general is kind of difficult for that reason alone. I've deliberately used a really early save file so that I try not to spoil too much of the game for you, the buying public, because, you know, I feel it's part of the game's charm. You don't actually expect the game to be as vast as it is, but it is. It's absolutely wonderful. When you are fighting the monsters and stuff, you just have this huge grin on your face the entire time through, because you just blast the crap out of everything and you don't have to worry about anything, you know? Not to say that this game's easy, mind you. I mean, there are 5 difficulty levels and the game does get a lot harder as the difficulties go up. Although saying that, this brings me on to one might almost call an old school hack and slash RPG style power up system in this game. Essentially, as you kill enemies, they drop power ups and health bonuses and stuff. You can get extra armor, which increases your maximum life points, and there's also they drop extra weapons depending on which difficulty you fight that monster on, will vary on how good the actual weapon will be, and you need all these armor ups and weapon ups to actually defeat the harder difficulty levels, because they do really go for the jugular. As you can tell here, this is the weapon select screen. Each of the weapons are actually very well balanced. There isn't one super uber cannon or anything, although you do actually get some intensely powerful weaponry later on that completely shuns the earlier stuff, but towards the beginning it's all sort of very basic, but as you progress through the game you start to really enjoy and appreciate the fact that you've unlocked these really powerful weapons. Also, as you can see on the screen now, to aid you in your fight against the evil invading forces, you can also jump into a vehicle. These actually tend to be a little bit hit and miss actually. The helicopter's almost impossible to fly unless you've really practiced with it, while the tank is probably the most useful weapon in the game. The hover bike is okay, but it's really just for scouting, and the robot is got a lot of firepower and it's quite good fun to play around with, but it's incredibly slow. Again, this is the sort of surprise element that I was talking to you about. You don't really expect much to come from this game because it's developed by a small Japanese publisher, but it's just wonderful. I look at those graphics. In fact, the whole presentation of this game in general is just fantastic. I mean, it's all very B-movie like. The voice acting, the actual graphics, but hey, even the budget. But overall, you feel that this game is a very complete game. It's not been rushed in any shape or form, and we're grateful for that, you know? There is some slight downfalls. I mean, there's no online play, mainly because the game would quite literally just die. The game, I can imagine you running this on a server and it just dying due to the lag because there's so much stuff going on the screen at once. But it does, however, have a really nifty split screen mode, which suffers from no slowdown whatsoever. Speaking of slowdown, there are the odd moment where this game does slow down slightly, but then again, it's not the kind of bad, persistent slowdown. It's just a once in a while, once in a blue moon, oh my freaking god, this game is getting quite crazy on my ass slowdown. And you just stand back in amazement, you know. You think, oh my god! And there's like several explosions going off, etc. Well, I guess it's time to wrap this review up. If you like a third-person shooter where the environments are completely destructible, the action's fast and furious, and doesn't overcomplicate the proceedings too much, then this game is definitely for you. It's one of the most fun and original games that I've played in a long time, and yes, I am aware that this also did come out on the PlayStation 2, but anyone who came into contact with those two prequels on the PlayStation 2 knew that this game was destined to do great things on the next generation console. Anyway, this game gets a healthy 9 out of 10 for me, because it only has some slight tiny niggles, i.e. not being able to play the game online and stuff, but at the end of the day, this game's so much fun that you just can't afford to miss out. I mean, this game is £25, the average game costs £45 on the Xbox 360. Anyway, this game gets a big thumbs up for me, so go out and buy it.